They have to make some moves, though, because the West is so much better now. We're seeing it already with Phoenix and the Clippers, and we haven't even talked about Utah and Denver when Jamal Murray gets back. And so, and then the big three out here back east. And so we have to get better, and they got to get some shooters to surround AD and LeBron with, because Danny Green, that move hurt us. Rondo, that move hurt us because those guys brought something that we don't have anymore, right? Danny Green could shoot from the three-point line. Rondo with his basketball IQ and also be able to create shots for his teammates. Dwight Howard closing down the middle. So we missed those guys. So Rob Pelinka just got to bring some shooters, help AD, help LeBron, space the court, and I think the Lakers will be fine.
One of the big question marks about Anthony Davis, or about the Lakers in general, is Anthony Davis and his inability to stay healthy. No one questions his brilliance as a player. When healthy, he's an MVP caliber player. But how do you handle him during a season in which, I mean, we hate the words load management on this show, and everyone hates them, but the reality is you need him to be healthy at the end of the year, and it doesn't always happen. How do you handle it?
Well, Greeny, you're right. First, he got to change what he's been doing over the summer. And I think he's got to get somebody to stretch him. He also probably got to work with a physical therapist to make sure all the injuries that he had this past season, he's over those injuries, and it can help him during the season next season, right? And then for the Lakers, I would say yes, not load management as much, but make sure you watch how many minutes you're playing, watch back-to-back games, because he is injury prone. Before he got to the Lakers, he used to get injuries with the Pelicans. So we know that. The main thing for the Lakers is we just can't depend on those two guys anymore. We need a third scorer. We need somebody who can get us 15 to 18 points every single game. And that's where Rob Pelinka's got to make a deal, or he's got to draft somebody who can do that.
So who is that? What is that move? If you're making that move, what is the one move that could put LeBron back over the top?
Well, what I'm understanding right now, because I haven't talked to Rob or Jeannie about this, I know Kyle Kuzma, who played great before those guys got there, he needs to be a second scorer on a team, right? And I think he can actually do that.
Can I just interject? Someone has just entered the room. This is about to be fascinating. The great Stephen A. Smith has just made his way.
Look at him strolling, too.
Stephen A. is here. He doesn't have a microphone on, I'm being told. But you know what? With Steve, you can hear him anyway. So it does.
I lean on magic. I lean on magic.
That's right.
I lean on magic.
So I told him, you said the Lakers championship window is closed. He doesn't believe it.
Well, listen, it's very rare that I disagree. Here we go. Thank you so much. It's very rare that I disagree because, after all, this is magic that we're talking about. I mean, it's presently constructed. This team, their championship window, they did something Magic and the Lakers never did. They won the championship. They were feeling themselves. They were walking around as champions. I'm not talking about LeBron, because we know he takes care of himself physically. But there's a lot of dudes out there that didn't commit themselves to defending the crown they had earned. And as a result, you got all of these teams on a come-up. They are what they are. As presently constructed, their window is closed. Now, if they go out and get somebody like Dame Dollar or Damian Lillard or something, that would be different.
Is that on the list of options?
I don't think so. Yeah. It'd be nice, but I don't know if they could do it.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I think it's tough to pull off that trade because you need assets to do that. I think there's players out there that can help the Lakers. Rob's just got to find out who that guy is. But Laker fans, we gave them a pass, right? We said, hey, they won the championship last year. We gave them a pass this season. But after that, no passes. They got to come through. They got to play well. But he was right. Sometimes when you win a championship, you don't work as hard over the summer. You don't look to improve. You don't look to get better. And I think that happened to the Lakers. But I think losing in the first round, losing to the Suns the way they did, they're going to come back and be ready.
Especially in cities like L.A., there are very many distractions. And so as a result of that, you have to maintain focus. And it's easy to be distracted, and that happens. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah. So Stephen A. is just getting warmed up because they're going across the hall to do First Take in a minute. But let me ask you the question, because Magic Johnson is not willing to say that right now Kevin Durant is the best player in the world. He says that is still LeBron's crown to hang on to. I don't want to misquote you, right? That's what you just said.
Right.
Who's the best player in the world?
I think it's KD. I think Kevin Durant. But here's what I will say. Magic Johnson, and it's not just
Speaking of LeBron, guys, a lot of folks say he's still the best player in the league, that the torch has not been passed yet. So that's where we go with this next debate. So after scoring the most points ever in a Game 7, has Kevin Durant, I'm looking at you, sir, officially passed LeBron James as the best player in the NBA right
Molly, not yet.
now? Okay.
He's got to win that chip. He got to win that championship. And they came up short, just like LeBron and the Lakers came up short this season. So LeBron still has the edge on those championship rings. So I would say not yet. But I tell you, I was just taken back, and I've never seen a guy perform like KD did in that Bucks series, and just like he was doing it from everywhere. So I was very impressed with KD. He's one of my favorite all-time players, and the way he can score, where he can score from, it's just amazing. And I would say this, you know how the torch is being like this? Like
In the Olympics, the pass in the back, they got to work on that turn.
Yeah. And KD is like, got his arm out, waiting on it. And let me just bring this up.
LeBron turning.
Exactly.
That's the
Let me just bring this up. It's just like Larry Bird and I. We were on the bus.
That's right.
We're on the bus.
That's exactly what I was going to bring up. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
You tell it.
You tell it.
No, first person.
Somebody can tell it like you. That's exactly what I was going. It's yours. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I had this
You make me
mystery.
mad now.
I need yours.
So we're on the bus.
Right.
And Michael Jordan looks at me, looks at Larry, and says, "There's a new sheriff in town."
That's right. That's right. After practice.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I said, "Uh-oh."
Yeah, that's right.
He was right.
And he was right.
He was right.
Yes, sir.
And it's KD is looking right now. Go ahead.
I've said this to Max on several occasions. So it's the first year KD arrived in Golden State.
Mm-hmm.
Previous year they had lost in Game 7, OKC, Golden State. They beat LeBron in the finals, whatever. Actually, LeBron beat them in the finals that year. The next year, KD is going up against LeBron. And the first basket of the game, money, KD scores. And KD goes like this and spreads his arm out wide like, let's go. And what I was saying to Max is I said, in basketball parlance, that's when you saying to a guy, I'm here now.
Yeah.
See, you had me when I had the other crew. But now I got a crew like you do. Mm-hmm. Now it's me and you in KD's mind. Now it's me and you. And that series, even though LeBron averaged a triple-double with 32 points, triple-double, and he was sensational.
Yeah.
I constantly remind folks, KD averaged 35 on 53% shooting. His brother wasn't playing. And what I'm saying to you is this. I'm partial to offense. I know how great LeBron is. LeBron has a better resume. KD got some work to do to catch LeBron's resume.
Right.
But I'm talking talent. Mm-hmm. And when I look at the offensive talent of Kevin Durant, and I think about those 38,000 points that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scored, I look at one guy in this league that if he sat up there and said, you know what, I feel like, I think I'm going to catch this record. If he decide, I just think I'm going to catch this record, he's going to do it because he's just that unstoppable. To be the sniper that he is at 6'11" with a 7'6" wingspan, who can finish at the free throw line.
Let me say this real quick because we're going to run out of time real quick. I'll put it, what's real barbershop talk? It's basketball and boxing for the most part, right? So let me make this barbershop for a second.
Sure.
LeBron had the undisputed title. Mm-hmm. There was no dispute to his claim, right?
Yeah.
It's like Tyson Fury when he beat Klitschko. He's the undisputed champ. Then he went away for a while and Anthony Joshua was coming up, right? Now there's a dispute. Whoever you think is champion, there's a dispute at least, right? LeBron, the title has not been taken, but there's a dispute. KD, the way he just played, has a legit dispute, has a legit claim that, hold on, I'm number one, and LeBron's going to have to go out and defend the title again next year. It's up for grabs. He's not the undisputed champ anymore like he was. I thought he outplayed KD in that first series with Golden State and Cleveland.
I think you're right. Now there is a debate where before there was never a debate.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting next year for both of them, right? Can we finally see LeBron and the Lakers against Brooklyn and the Nets? Because we thought we were going to see that this season. But what has happened this season has been great for basketball. Atlanta Hawks, new teams, new superstars. Now, Trae Young is a superstar, not a star anymore. Devin Booker is a superstar, not a star anymore. So this has been great for the league.
Markets like Milwaukee, a lot of teams we didn't expect.
And then let's give him love, because the Greek Freak is a different player than he was the last couple playoffs. He finally understands what he has to do to be